Hey guys, I'm the Coaster Keat, and if you're wondering why these weekly videos where I kind of talk about how my life is going have not been very weekly as of late, I answer to you that time in the COVID era is kind of non-existent because really everyone has a hard time telling if it's Monday or Friday or Sunday, so why should I be concerned with the whole time concept when trying to map out my videos? That and the fact that I am extremely lazy, and I am sorry about that. That is something that I have tried desperately to change, all to no avail. But anyways, here it is, in a little bit of a different style, because you see, these weeks, because of the whole incident, are not very typical. I don't have all of these, landmarks to kind of share with you guys. I can't say like, oh yeah, I went to my first college party and I did this and that, because first of all, I wouldn't be doing those things, and second of all, I'm stuck in my room. But what I can do is, do homework and take tests and watch musicals and do yard work, so every day is kind of a mush, and so that's kind of what I want to talk about today, is the effects of the whole pandemic that we've been seeing, and kind of what my life is like now, just a bit, my life for these 2 past weeks, and kind of things that have gone on. I'm not sure if all of these videos are going to take this tack from now on, like kind of updates on the situation, but it's definitely going to be a part of them. Anyway, that's a lot of talking. Let's just get into the better talking that I'm going to do. So the very first casualty of this whole pandemic, at least in my heart, was the loss of the little bird. You might have noticed that we have our 2 other birds, Ash and Skylar, are here, but the little bird is nowhere to be found. That's because the other day I dropped them, and in the absolute chaos that is my room, it's just, believe me, you do not want to see it. It is horrendous. Once I dropped them, I was like, nope, they're gone. And until I clean my room and get them out of the absolute void that they have entered, they're not going to be on here. So the next time you see them, that means that I cleaned my room. And if you want to see them again, you can, I guess, comment "clean your room, you slacker" down below, and maybe peer pressure will get me to do it. I don't know. But anyways, that's been one of the main effects of it, is just laziness on everything that doesn't need to be done and that other people don't rely on me for. So things like schoolwork, I'm not having the worst time on, but things that work for me, things like the YouTube videos and all of that, even though there are 62 of you amazing people watching, for some reason that is not enough for me to go ahead and force myself to sit down every day to do these videos. So just my kind of motivation for things for myself, things like, working out, playing video games and stuff like that, even playing video games just kind of peters out in favor of the, zero brain, just go and watch some YouTube videos, which is completely fine and justifiable. But that's just kind of been what's been taking up my time. For schoolwork, it's been a bit weird, but I've done relatively well in the transition. The top things that I would want to complain about in the whole Zoom learning system are procrastinating on tests, increased temptations in lectures, and forgetting all about long-term projects, because these are the 3 things that affect me the most. Procrastination on tests, because of the whole situation and the fact that not everyone will always have a stable internet connection, and not everyone will always have the perfect schedule to be able to do everything that they want to do when they want to do it. Teachers will make it so that tests are open for 3 days. And to me, this is a problem. And I am a selfish person because I'm like, do not allow me to do this. Because what will happen is I will look at a test that is due on a day, and I will be like, well, am I really ready for this test, or should I study more? Or worse, and kind of more accurately, I'll be like, oh, I have a test today. Or do I? Maybe all of this studying can go ahead and wait another day, and I can go ahead and, catch up on Markiplier's latest videos today. It'll be fine, right? This is not a good thing for me at all, because it just increases the stress that I feel, and I just have all of this extra time to just kind of feel bad about myself. And yes, I should be studying, and yes, it's good for people to have this extra time, but I'm just saying that if you're a person like me, the ability to procrastinate on tests is not a good thing. The other things were increased temptation in lectures, and by that I mean, oh my gosh, if your teacher has you turn off your camera in a lecture, and all of my teachers pretty much gave up on you just having your webcam because people kept doing stuff, and so now we pretty much never have our webcams up. And it is so easy to just have your phone next to you and then it vibrates because someone talked and texted you and you're like, I really shouldn't look at this, and you're already pulling out your phone and looking at it. And it's like, this is just a bad thing. And they will say that, yeah, Zoom monitors what you're doing, so you can't, go on other tabs and stuff. But it's like, this is 2020. People have other things than their computer to go and do stuff on. They can just pull up YouTube videos on their phone if they so desire. Now, I haven't gotten to this point yet, and I'm going to force myself not to, but just know, teachers, if there are any teachers watching this, you need to make it mandatory for people to put their camera on. Unless they text you or email you or however you're speaking these days to say that they absolutely cannot. Because it forces you as a student to stay focused, because the absolute paralyzing fear that if you accidentally get called on or cough or whatever and you happen to have your phone out and then all of a sudden that Zoom screen fills with your face just being like, oh no, and just your phone, and then you get in huge trouble in front of all of your other classmates. That will probably be enough, especially in high school situations where people still care about the social things that people think of them. College, I have no idea. It would work for me, but perhaps not for other people that are less self-conscious. Finally, the forgetting about long-term projects. Now, this has been the main one that's been killing me, because a lot of long-term projects, because of the whole situation, got delayed. They were like, okay, you have another month, you have another week, you have some more time to get this done since everything was chaotic. Good, great, but I forget. And all of a sudden, that one day when I was super productive and actually wrote all of the dates that everything were due into my Google Calendar and set everything up beautifully, now that's all pointless because all the due dates have been moved. And unless I have another super productive day, which honestly seems kind of unlikely right now, I am just gonna fail probably to remember when a lot of these things are, and so instead I have to keep checking and checking and checking and reminding myself of when all of these things are going to come due, which is relatively soon, by the way, because the school year is ending. And that's the other thing, is because this all happened right in time for the second half of second semester to occur, it's kind of like all of these things that you're supposed to be kind of working on in the second half of the second semester just kind of get pushed back as you're like, nah, it's fine. And you have your typical COVID laziness where you're just like, I could do that, but at the same time, I could just take pass-fail and then all my problems would be solved. But I am a stubborn person that does not want to take pass-fail, so I am going to be stuck with my decisions. So it is going to be an interesting ride, but hopefully if I can force myself to be a little bit productive by doing things like telling you guys that I'm gonna force myself to be more productive, then just maybe I'll be able to not die in these next few weeks, because that's going to be a lot of work. But, I'll probably get through it alright. Anyways, the only good thing about this whole thing is my gardening proficiency is so high right now. I am one of the best gardeners you will ever meet, because in all of my free time, or much of my free time that I am willing to give up, I will go over to my dad's house and we will go ahead and work on that yard. And we have turned that thing from the Amazon rainforest to a, like, kind of ghetto-ish yard sort of situation. Like, it's really not pretty to look at, but it's okay. And that is incredible, my friends. That is the true accomplishment of this past month, because no one else is doing anything. Sure, people are releasing songs and raising money, but me learning how to garden and flattening that near Amazon, that is what is important, my friends. So yes, please, you can also go ahead and thank me for that down in the comments. It'll just be a beautiful mix of clean your darn room and thanks for making the world a better place by cleaning out that yard, even though we're losing all of that carbon absorbing material. But you know, it's gonna be habitable, so I guess it's a win? I don't know. We keep on going. In the general world, I don't know why I couldn't say that for a second, everything has changed. Everyone is wearing masks. You are not allowed to serve your own drinks at like 7-Eleven or anything like that. It is all done for you, and they have actually erected this barricade of like these big boxes so that you can go in the absolute correct path. And there's also a barricade between you and the person that hands you your drinks, because of course there is. And you also have to tell them, you know, the size, the amount of ice, and the flavor. It's like drive-through drinks, except it's 7-Eleven and you still have to walk in, but masks are required. Meanwhile, you also have the shutting down of some parks in places. The one that's near me is currently still walk-through, but I do know areas where parks you can't even walk into them. I've also seen reports of skate parks getting filled with sand because people keep going despite everything. And also a few rebellions are starting to rise up as some people are getting a bit sick of the whole thing. So it's all really a very kind of apocalyptic scenario where I'm living right now. It's also, if you order something from a store, there are some stores where you actually have to drive up, you're not allowed to go in, and they will bring you your product, and then they will tell you to open the trunk of your car. You're not even allowed to get out of your car, and then they would put it into the trunk. And if you cannot have them put it into your trunk for whatever reason, I don't know, the dead body you're hiding there or whatever else, then they will begrudgingly hand your item to you if you force them to. But it is definitely a really, really weird time to be living in. I would say the only good thing about all of this, and something that I will repeat every time because it is a really, really big good thing, is the unity that we are seeing. The unity between countries, the unity between people, just the absolute unity of the world on this issue, even with the little rebellions and stuff. Just the fact that everyone just kind of wants the best for other people in their own ways. Like, if you're doing the stay at home, you want the best for people because you don't want to spread it. If you're doing the rebellions, you want the best for people because you want some people to be able to be free, and you want society to keep on going after all of this, which is an equally valiant cause. And some of you will probably disagree with me on that, but I do believe that there is a balance that needs to be struck with all of this. And even though there's going to be a lot of turmoil, it's good to remember that we are all united and that we want the best for everyone going forward. We want a world that we can live in happily, safely, healthily, and that is what we are pushing for. So I, for one, am super excited for the one aspect of Unity that I have cherished the most, and that is the videos with my friends. They have been helping me to keep making YouTube videos in this time and have given me a great excuse to hang out with them, so that has been wonderful. Hopefully you guys enjoy those videos. There's going to be a few more of those in the future, as well as the AI Dungeon videos. But anyways, I've been talking for a long time. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for listening. Future me, if you're ever watching this, it's a weird time. I hope the history books do it justice. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope that you all soar high and enjoy your ride of life. Bye!